Hi, hello, namaste. In this section, we'll be seeing the concept of magnetic scalar potentials and magnetic vector potentials. If you remember, in electrostatics, we have seen there exists a scalar electric potential which was denoted by V, and it had a relation with respect to my electric field intensity E. The relation was derived as this form: E is equal to negative gradient of the scalar quantity V. In the same ways, in my magnetism, there are two types of potentials. Okay, one is scalar potential, the other one is vector potential. Scalar potential is denoted by the same V with a subscript m, and vector potential is represented as a vector A. Okay, so to define this vector potentials, firstly let us see few identities of our curl operator that we have already seen in the sessions, which is useful over here. So the first property which we'll be using is curl of a divergence of a scalar quantity will always be equal to 0. So because this V is a scalar quantity for me, so this forms gradient. Okay, because I am taking del of a scalar quantity. So curl of this will always be equal to 0. So that is the first property. And the second property is, if I am taking a divergence of a curled quantity, so whenever you are taking a curl, the solution will also be a vector, right? But here the divergence of this curl will be getting me 0, where A is a vector. So let's see how are this being defined and how is that is satisfied. So firstly, let us start with scalar potential, or to be precise, scalar magnetic potential. So if I say my Vm is a scalar magnetic potential, then we know from the identity that del cross of del of Vm should be equal to 0. This is from the identity 1. I'll call this identity 1 and 2. Okay, from this identity, this should hold good. But there exist, in the similar way of that of electric potential, there exists a scalar magnetic potential relation with respect to my magnetic field intensity. That relation I can specify here, the relation between my magnetic field intensity. So this is magnetic field intensity with respect to my scalar potential can also be written as minus times the gradient of scalar magnetic potential Vm. So using this equation in my identity, I can write this as the curl of minus h, which is equal to 0. Or simply I can take off that minus and I can say that this is a vector. Okay, curl of h is equal to 0. So what is this statement giving us the meaning? From the curl, so curl of h was what? It was getting me the current density that is available in that particular closed path or the surface. What is the current density? But here, for a scalar magnetic potential, I am getting the current density equal to 0. That means to say the scalar magnetic potential, so the scalar magnetic potential can be defined for only source free region. Source free region means there is no current, the J is a source. So scalar magnetic potential Vm can only be defined to source free region where J is equal to 0. So that's the first thing. So this is how we represent scalar magnetic potential. Scalar magnetic potential, that is this Vm is scalar magnetic potential, can only be defined for a source free region. Okay, fine. So after this, we'll try to equate or find out the Laplace equation for scalar magnetic potential. So let's see Laplace equation for, I'll just write in short, scalar magnetic potential. So as we have seen the Laplace equation in electrostatics, the similar way we are trying to derive the Laplace equation for scalar magnetic potential. So to derive this or to know this, firstly we know that the closed surface integral of my magnetic flux density times ds, the surface area, was equal to 0. Do you remember that if I have a magnet and there is magnetic flux lines that is going, when I take a closed surface of this, we had already discussed that whatever the flux that leaves that surface will be entering at the other end from the south pole. So this equation is 0, which we have already discussed in the Maxwell's equation. So using this, what I do is I apply the divergence theorem. When I apply the divergence theorem for the above equation, I'll be getting from this, I'll be getting closed, I mean the volume integral, it's not closed, the volume integral of the divergence of P times dV. When I apply divergence theorem for this equation, I'm converting the line integral to a volume integral. So what this states, this should be now equal to 0, right? When I apply divergence theorem, this is the line integral over here is converted to the volume integral, but this volume integral should be now equal to 0. But if you see, you can't say the volume to be 0. No ways you can tell volume can never be 0. Okay, hence it should be the divergence of vector B can only be 0. So using this, I can solve for the divergence, the B vector, where the magnetic flux density is defined by the permeability of magnetic field in the free space, that of the magnetic field intensity. So this equation, we know the relation between magnetic flux density and the magnetic field intensity. So using this, I can solve for mu naught of H, which is equal to 0. But we also know that this is a constant, mu naught is a constant, and mu naught can also not be equal to 0. So this whole term will be now equated to del divergence of H should be equal to 0. But what is my H? What is H? We know the magnetic field intensity is nothing but the gradient of my scalar magnetic potential, the negative gradient of the scalar magnetic potential. Substituting this here, I'll be getting minus del dot Vm times is equal to 0. So solving this, I'll be getting del square Vm is equal to 0. So this is my Laplace equation for the current density is equal to 0 only for this condition, only for the source free region. For a source free region, I can have a Laplace equation wherein this Laplace equation is very much similar to my electrostatics equation, where in electrostatics I had del square V, the scalar potential. Here I am having the magnetic potential. Scalar potential, electric potential was defined there. Here I am using scalar magnetic potential. So this is about scalar magnetic potential. Coming to the next topic, that is vector magnetic potential. So to define vector magnetic potential, we have already said it is represented by A, and A has a unit of Weber per meter. Okay. So how to satisfy this particular equation, or how to prove, or how to get the concept of vector magnetic potential? To get this, again we'll be using the second identity which we had discussed here. The divergence of a curl of a vector A is equal to 0. So using that, what I do is, so this equation can be related to my magnetic monopole expression, wherein we have already discussed that magnetic monopoles doesn't exist. So using that point, we have already explored the divergence of a magnetic field to be 0. If you see this expression A and expression B, what I can do, I can compare this to this. So my magnetic flux density will be equal to the curl of a vector A. Okay, so this is the relation that I have got by comparing my magnetic vector potential equation with that of the magnetic monopoles equation. This is the Maxwell's equation, where he stated that the magnetic monopoles doesn't exist in the point form. So using this, I have related my magnetic flux density with my vector magnetic potentials. Okay, so this is the second relation that we wanted to define. And lastly, we know in electrostatics my scalar potential V was defined like this. It is nothing but integral of the charge dq over a distance r, or in other sense, work done in bringing a unit positive charge or a unit charge from some place to the point where I am calculating the potential, right? So this was the equation that we had discussed there. So if I want to define that with respect to my vector magnetic potentials now, so vector magnetic potentials can also be defined in the same way that was electrostatics, where we defined the potential, the vector potential. Here I can define the line integral of mu naught I times dl divided by 4 pi r. So this is for line current. Similarly, for the surface current, I can write the vector A, where vector A is my vector magnetic potential. Vector magnetic potential can be taken over the sheet or surface. It is defined by mu naught times the current density K over here into the surface ds divided by 4 pi r. So this is for surface current. Similarly, if I want to solve for the volume current, so I can consider a volume integral over the current density J times that particular volume where I am solving it, divided by 4 pi r. So this is for volume current. So if you are interested in how to, or how did we find this particular vector magnetic potentials, you can go through your textbooks, and there is a derivation which explains you the process of how we derived all these three equations. So these are the equations that you need to be aware of. This is how we define scalar magnetic potential and vector magnetic potentials. Hope the concepts are clear and you have understood how they are related. As usual, any doubts, any queries, please do contact me. Drop in a text. Thank you.